Hey, hi, hello. Look at, I am very St. Louis Cardinals today because we just got back from a St. Louis Cardinals game. In fact, we lost. So, go Redbirds. It's great. It's a fantastic year for the Cardinals. It's not a fantastic year for the Cardinals. Hockey is next. Hockey's next. We're just gonna go for that. Anyway, hi, my name is Linnea, and this is a space where we are trying to become semi-self-sufficient, where we garden, we do sourdough, we do fun recipes, all while living in the suburbs. So if that is something you're interested in, consider subscribing. I mean, you can figure out where I live if you think about it. Anyways, in my last video, I revived my sourdough starter that has been living in the fridge for 6 months. And I made it very clear that I was not going to make another sourdough loaf video. I lied. This video is all about sourdough and making a loaf of bread. But I did show the measurements of how I like to do my sourdough. Everyone does it differently. There's lots of different sourdough recipes out there. So I did show quickly, not in depth, how I do my sourdough. But I wanted this video to be more about making bread for other people. I have a friend right now who is on vacation, and I've been watching her cats for the last 3 days? 4 days? Honestly, can't remember. And I love this friend dearly. And she also loves when I bake for her or when I make anything for her. I know she loves it. So what I like to do when I watch her cats is I like to surprise her with some kind of baked good when she comes back. So she gets back tomorrow, and tonight I'm gonna go drop off the loaf of bread. So when she comes home, she has a nice loaf of bread to come back to. Because you know, when you get back from vacation, you don't always want to cook. You don't always want to go to the grocery store. You don't want to do any of that. So I'm making her a loaf of bread. And I think it's important to bake for your friends or your family or anybody that you're close to. I think it's important because it shows that I took the time out of my day to not only just go, I didn't like go to the store and buy her something. I took time out of my life to bake for her. And I think that's kind of a tender form of love. I love my friends deeply. If you know me in real life, you know that I don't like to have a ton of friends. That's for sure. I don't like to have a ton of friends. But the friends that I do have, I love them so much, and I would do absolutely anything for them. And if that means making them a loaf of bread, that took me basically 3 days to make, because I had to revive the starter, make the bread, bake the bread. It's basically 3 days worth of work. I just think it's important to bake for your friends, or cook for them, or do something for them. This is just me blabbing about what I think is important, and yeah, that's the video. I mean, it's literally just me baking a loaf of bread. I'm gonna put it in a little cute bag that I have, and drop it off on her island when I see her cats tonight. And you know what? She'll come in tomorrow, not expecting it, and be surprised. So I'm sorry that this was such a long intro, but yeah, I just think it's important to treat your friends with kindness and thoughtfulness, because they'll return it, whether that be to you or whether they return it to someone else. Your one act of kindness can be spread. That's all I gotta say about that. So I'm gonna stop yapping. I'm gonna actually put my bread in the oven now, bake it, and let it cool, put it in a bag, and we'll go to her house. We'll drive there together. You and me will drive there together, and we'll drop it off together. So that's the video. Next one probably will be more actual cooking, like showing you what I'm doing. But this one I thought would just be a little bit different than most of my other videos. So let's go bake the bread. All right, I'm gonna do 375 grams of water. I don't use filtered water, just so we're all, oh. All right, I'm gonna do 175 grams of water, or 179 grams because that's just what I poured in there. So we've got 179 grams of water, and then I'm gonna do anywhere from 100 to 120 grams of starter because I'm not the most exact when it comes to putting my starter in. So I'm gonna do that. All right, now I'm gonna do 500 grams of bread flour. Sometimes I do 400 grams of bread flour and 100 grams of whole wheat, but I just have bread flour, so we're doing 500 grams. All right, I'm just gonna mix this in, and then I'm gonna let it sit on the counter covered for roughly 30 minutes. And you don't have to be exact with this. I'm not exact with this. Sometimes I let it sit for an hour. Sometimes I let it sit for an hour and a half because I get busy and I forget. So roughly an hour, and then we'll come back and we'll add the salt. All right, it's been well over an hour because I called my mom and we talked for quite a while. So now I am gonna put 12 grams of salt in here. 12 is my magic number, that's just what I like. I think everyone's kind of different when it comes to salt. I don't like my bread overly salty. I find that 12 is a really good amount. And I like to wet my hand and just kind of fold it in. And then once my salt is kind of folded in, I'm gonna cover it and let it sit for an hour. And in an hour, my hour, might be an hour and a half, I don't know. I've got a couple errands to run, so it might end up being longer than that, which is fine because sourdough is extremely forgiving if you do it right. So the salt is in there. I'm just gonna cover this back up and let it sit for an hour and we'll be back. For the record, I do think I overproofed this loaf, but on the bright side, My friend won't even notice, most likely. She will just eat the bread and be like, this is delicious. She's not a critic of it. You know, actually it looks pretty good. I won't lie, it's pretty puffy. I will say this loaf has been in my fridge now for 12, maybe 17 hours. So it is kind of a lot, but it'll be fine. Like I said, she most likely will not care. She will literally just care that I thought about her and made her a loaf of bread, and that's what's important. It looked good. I don't even know if it's gonna fit in here. Oh yeah. There we go. Hello, kitty. Hello, Spaghetti. This cat's name is Spaghetti, just so everyone knows. His name is Spaghetti. I'm gonna leave this over here. Yep. Leave your friends homemade bread if you care about them. That's the message of the video.